What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode where I'm trying to collect all 296 North American released Nintendo 64 games. Today we added a couple more to the collection, 9 total. So let's go inside, get them boxed up, and we will go over which games I found. All right, you guys, I have a stack of games and a stack of boxes up underneath them, and it is time to show you guys my recent collection finds. Now, this is all from the same store, Bit 8 Plus. Don't exactly know where the name comes from. Maybe I should ask them because I'm in there relatively often now. But I will show you guys some B-roll now, or you guys have already seen it, of just what the store looks like and some of their selections. So today I was able to pick up, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 9 games. I can count. Whew, I graduated high school. So some of them are low end, and some of them are mid, and some, like Harvest Moon 64, is probably mid to upper tier in terms of price category for the Nintendo 64. So I'm just going to start my top left right here and kind of work my way around, and we'll get those boxed up kind of as we go. So Extreme G, just another sort of racing game. Kind of futuristic. On the backside, you guys can check it out there. Like I've said in previous videos, a lot of these racing games are kind of similar to each other in terms of how they look and the gameplay of them. They just go by different names. So obviously you have like Mickey Speedway and Mario Kart and Diddy Kong Racing. They're all very, very similar to each other, just different characters and different designs of vehicles. Kind of same thing with Extreme G. We had a racing game in my last video. Let me see which one it is. Wipeout 64. Kind of same thing, futuristic weapons and vehicles. This is more of like a motorcycle type game. Gives me kind of Tron vibes. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the movie Tron, played any games that are similar to that. So with like the bikes, mainly just the wheels and how they operate. So I paid $11.99 for it. I'm going off the cup on this one. I don't even really remember what any of these are on price charting. So I want to say they're decently close to price charting, either a couple dollars above or a couple dollars below. That's just kind of how I operate when I collect mine. Excuse the noise. Gonna grab some baby wipes. That's usually what I do. Now, 8-Bit Gaming, they usually clean their games pretty dang well, but I like to just kind of do a one-over before I add them to the box, kind of as their final resting place type of a thing. This one's got a little smudge up top. Let's see if I can't get that off, if you guys can see that. This game overall is in decent shape. The label on it is really nice. These sections right here, if you guys can see those, that is part of the graphic on the actual label itself, and it's not actually peeling. The corners are in nice condition. Overall, it's in pretty good shape. A little bit dirty on the backside. You can kind of see some smudges right here, but I think I'm going to start running into the issue of walking away from games, potentially. Right now, I'm just kind of buying what I see, mainly because I need all of these games. So when I see them, I freak out because I'm like, oh, I need that one. So then I end up purchasing it. I think eventually I'm going to start being more picky with the quality of games, which I feel like I already am right now. Like, I really make sure the label's nice, the front and back are all the same hue of gray and things like that. But, you know, in the future, maybe this dirt and grime will kind of turn me off, and so I'll skip over it. But for now, I need it. It was right around that price charting price, and so I picked it up. The label was nice. I feel like with the dirty cartridge, I would rather deal with a dirty cartridge and try to clean that instead of a crappy and peeling label. What I mean by that is I can clean the cartridge off. I can find how to do it. I can use baby wipes. I can find something online and figure out a solution to clean them off. The label is kind of what it is. I don't want to relabel these. I want to keep them authentic and their true original label. So I'd rather deal with the dirtiness and the cleanliness of a cartridge rather than the label issue of it peeling off. So I'm gonna add this guy. right over here because we're going to start running out of room back here with all of our other games. So moving on to Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Now this is the OG one, the very first one. I feel like I paid up for price charting. I want to say this is like $12 or 15 bucks on price charting, so I definitely paid up on it. The reason why I grabbed it is just in such nice condition. Now those different tones are just from my fingers, if you can see. So we have those. Cartridge is in great shape. Backside is in great shape. Back label is perfect. Alrighty, sorry about that. My AirPods disconnected to my phone and I need to charge them for a little bit. So back to Tony Hawk Pro Skater. This is the OG one, the one that started it all. The cartridge is in really good shape. That was just the sticker that didn't want to come off. I don't know why. There we go. Back label, awesome condition. You can see all these corners are sticking down very well. Nothing's peeling up. There's really no dinks or dings on the actual back label itself. Moving forward, the front label is in excellent condition, as I'm probably damaging it with this extremely wet wipe. That's okay. That is fine with me. Just trying to take off all these extra smudges. Kind of need to keep that there to let it air dry for a second before I shove it into a box. This one, I have my original one somewhere. Well, at least I think I do. I don't know if it is the first or the second one. The reason why I believe it's the first one, because I remember the blue cartridge. The second one is a yellow cartridge. I don't know if anyone, well, I don't know. I assume that everyone knows that. Tony Hawk and that series is one of the few colored cartridges in the Nintendo 64 catalog. Excuse me, just had to sneeze. So I don't like to do jump cuts, but on one cartridge, we're doing two of them. So that's getting dried up nicely. Anyways, these are some of the few colored painted cartridges in the Nintendo 64 catalog. And I want to say I have this somewhere. I just don't know where it's at. It's probably in a random box somewhere, either at my parents' house, in my garage. Somewhere I have my original Tony Hawk Pro Skater game. It'd be kind of fun to find it and play it because I had a lot of fun and a lot of hours into that game. Moving on to Turok 2. Now this completes my Turok collection, well, somewhat. I believe there is a Turok that, what's the name of it? I'm going to pop it up in the corner somewhere. It's not Turok 1, it's not Turok 2, and it's not Turok 3. It's got its own specific name. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. Now, Turok is one of the games that has a cartridge variation, and that's where you spend an absorbent amount of money for the same game, just in a different cartridge. And I believe it's Turok 3 because Turok 3 is a black cartridge and the variation is gray. So maybe one day I'll, try to go after all those variations and the not for resale ones. So, but that'll be when I win the lottery because they are very, very, very expensive. So Turok 2 completes it. Pretty good shape. Corners are all intact, just how I like it. And backside is awesome as well. Grab the box here. Same thing as Turok 2. Very monster-esque. It reminds me of a arcade game. If you guys just check that out. Turok 1 is the exact same way. You go shoot up dinosaurs and move on from there. Also, I want to apologize. My hands look filthy and disgusting right now. I was helping my buddy roof his house yesterday, and my hands are actually clean. I just got out of the shower, actually, but I do have some everlasting dirty hands from that. So luckily, it's only my own video games in my own personal collection, so nothing too crazy about that. There is a tiny little thing right in that middle. I don't know if you guys can see that. Don't know what that is, but overall, this is in awesome condition. So, slam these guys in here. It's kind of nice. I want to figure out where my Turok. Oh, here we go. Let me grab it right there. All three of them lined up, just like that. So I'm going to eventually need to figure out a place for all of these because I am running out of so much room. On to the next one. My next pickup, Revolt. Now this one gives me well, it's another racing game slash destruction game. What's funny about this is it kind of gives me Rocket League vibes. Like this specific vehicle right here. I don't know if any of you guys have played Rocket League. There's a couple racers or vehicles in that game that remind me a lot of ones in this game. Now, obviously, Rocket League is a newish game, so this one probably most definitely came before it. This game also gives me Twisted Metal vibes as well. I'll show you on the back of the box. Or if anyone has ever played this and also played Rocket League, let me know if you guys agree. Or if you guys have ever played Twisted Metal. My very first Twisted Metal game was actually on my OG original. They hid that. Gosh dang it, JC. This sucks. Anyways, my original Twisted Metal game was on my OG PSP. That's where I remember playing that. That's a real bummer, but I'll have to figure out how to get it off. I paid $19.99 for it. I'll have to throw up a price charting price up in the right-hand corner, left-hand corner, so you guys can kind of see how that lands in terms of price charting. I really wish I had a toothpick on me right now because I would grab that out of there. I wonder if I can get it with something else. Excuse me while I jimmy rig this and try to get it out of there. Haha, look at that. Got it. Cool. So, as I was saying, Rocket League vibes, Twisted Metal vibes. So, let me show you the back of the box when I get it open. So, check that out. The reason why it gives me Twisted Metal vibes and Rocket League vibes is like this stuff. That vehicle specifically, just the way you fly through the air. Maybe the creators of Rocket League also created this game 20 years beforehand. So, who knows? Time will tell. Maybe I'll Google it. Ask ChatGPT after this. So there's another one added to the collection. Now, what's fun about this haul is there's only one sports game. Whereas my last video, there's a decent amount of sports games and racing games. So it kind of was a boring episode. A very cheap video because all those games are relatively cheap. And these ones, not so much. So speaking of sports, let's move on to Mayhem. Very basic, very standard. There's 1,000,001 WWE or wrestling or whatever you want to call it, video game or Nintendo 64 games. I swear they just made 1,000 of them, pumped them out. Paid $6.99 for this. I want to say I paid barely over price charting for this guy. A lot of the sports games and wrestling games, they hover between that like $2.99, $3.99 to like $9.99. And so there is a tiny little bit of blue right there, but I needed the game. The label's really, really nice. So like I said earlier, I'll figure out a way to get that off just to add it to the collection. No peeling on the label, which is always what I'm going for. And hopefully, as you can see, the backside's just as nice. There's a little bit of hair on that. Excuse me. I'd rather have hair to fall out than no hair at all, and so luckily I have some hair to shed. Which is also sad because that means my hair's falling out. So Mayhem, another wrestling, WrestleMania, WWE. I think there's like a WWF maybe game. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. My mom never let me watch wrestling as a kid. So I don't know all the leagues or all the terms for it. I don't want to say leagues, but kind of leagues. So Mayhem added to the collection. So one of the ones I picked up, which I also mentioned in my one of my last videos, I picked up this Mickey Speedway before I picked up this guy. And the reason why I picked up this guy was because that one over there has a name on the backside of the label. However, this guy has far more issues with the label itself. The original one that I bought has just a name on the backside. This one has a lot of damage. So unfortunately, I'm going to keep this in its case. I'm probably going to take it back. They have like a 90-day return policy. So I'm going to return this, get my 20 bucks back, and just put it back towards other games. Or if I can't return it for some weird reason, I'll just trade it away. But I was hoping this one was going to be nicer just because it doesn't have that name in Sharpie. But turns out, once I looked at it, there's a lot of those scratches along the face of it. And I just don't really want that in my collection. I don't mind, but I have a nice copy of that besides the Sharpie. So it's not really a condition upgrade. It's just, I would just be upgrading it because of Sharpie. So I don't really want to do that. Moving on to Harvest Moon, which is probably out of all of these, my most expensive game so far. Conker's Bad Fur Day is up there with it, but I want to say I spent $100 just on this game alone, or 80 bucks. I should probably go look at my receipts so I can give you guys accurate numbers, but I want to say it price charts for one something. Like I said, I'll toss up price charting right there. You guys can see for yourself. Back label, awesome condition, no peeling, nothing. And the front label is in awesome condition as well. I don't know if you guys can see that over the camera, but there is some sort of kind of indenting, embossing up in these corners. There's kind of a big old streak right there, but for the most part, awesome condition. It's a great looking copy. I did get it for below price charting, so I do know that. I remember when I was in the store, I looked up price charting, and it was less than price charting. So in this great condition plus less than price charting, it's kind of like a no-go. If the embossing on the front, I'm literally spacing this word. If the embossing on the front label, excuse me, really bothers me down the road, I'll just do a condition upgrade. But for now, it is okay with me. Harvest Moon 64, I don't know how many people have played it. It's a weird thing. It's like a mix between Pokemon and Farmville on Facebook that you played in 2008. The reason why I say Pokemon is the way the game is set up. I'll show you guys on the back. With like the very square and Minecraft-esque gameplay. See how everything's just like square? Each space, you grow everything in squares, not circular. You have animals. So that's kind of why it gives me a Pokemon feel. It's because Pokemon is very similar to this style. On top of that, the Farmville-esque kind of style of having animals. You harvest things. You have animals. You retire on a homestead, and you get put to work. So Harvest Moon 64 added to the collection. Now for the last and final games. So surprisingly, out of all these games, I do not have Mario Kart 64. And the reason why I have two is because one is the traditional game and one is the player's choice game. So I am going to be that person, and eventually I am going to buy one of each for all the ones that have the player's choice. This one is not in the best of shape. However, I did get it for about $10 less than price charting. I think I bought this for like 20 bucks, 22 bucks, and I believe it price charts for 35. So that's a no-brainer. Gonna pick that up every single time. One day down the road, if I want to condition upgrade it because of that rip, then I will just condition upgrade it and I'll sell this one. I feel like at 22 bucks or 25 bucks, I can probably get 30 out of it just because it is Mario Kart. On the back side, I do want to give you guys kind of an example of why I look at these corners. See obviously how nice this corner and area is versus this. That's why I look at these backside corners. I just really want nice condition of everything. Player's choice, no difference in games. It just has that little label on it. I also have the, please hold. Let's see. Oh, never mind. Actually. Oh, I'm dropping stuff. I have the Mario Kart 64 Player's Choice CIB game. I picked this up a while ago. Very nice condition. It is CIB Plus, which means it has not only just the manual, the game, and stuff like that. It has the box, it has the cartridge, it has the baggies, everything that would come with it originally from the factory, it has that. So I am probably going to put this guy in a sleeve and then put it outside of my game out there, that's CIB. And then the player's choice, I'm just going to toss it in the box that it's designed for. So I'm going to actually ask Minibox Gaming if they have player's choice games. I don't know if they do, but that would be awesome if they did, because obviously a lot of the Mario games, Zelda games, stuff like that, they have the player choice option. So it'd be kind of nice to have a box for it as well. But that also means that the original 296 cartridges that I'm going after will increase up over 300 because now all the games that have the player choice options, I'll be trying to collect those. The console or the cartridge variations, I'll be trying to collect those. So it just makes the collection, or it makes the journey to complete every single game in the collection a little bit harder, a lot more expensive, because the cartridge variations are extremely expensive. The weird thing about this, the player's choice, is there's not a huge price difference between the two. They price chart for very similar prices. I'll toss one up here and one up here right now, just so you can see. They're all around $32 to $40 for these, so it doesn't really matter if you have the player's choice or the original or OG. They're just kind of the same thing. So got this guy boxed up. I'm gonna toss this guy in a baggie and put it over there with the game itself. All right, you guys, that's gonna be a wrap for today's episode. 7 more games added to the Nintendo 64 collection, bringing my total to 25, which is a far ways away from 296. However, I gotta start somewhere, and every single week we're adding more games to the collection. So I really appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe if you guys wanna see what games we add next.